Hello everybody, I hope you guys are all doing well. I want to welcome you back to another episode of The Fragrance Well. Today's topic, I thought I'd do a video about what I would choose as a practical fragrance collection if I didn't want to have the large and growing collection that I have right now. You know, to have a practical collection, you really only need maybe 5-10 fragrances max, and you just get some scents that pretty much can cover your basics in terms of what you would need on a day-to-day basis, and maybe throw in a few that you just really like, some that are probably a little more unique and you just want to have something that will really make you stand out in certain situations, or just a fragrance that you love. But those of us who like to have really large collections, you get at a certain number, and depending on the bottle sizes, you wouldn't be able to even wear all of your fragrances if you stuck with just that number for the rest of your life. Me personally, I am well past that point. It actually doesn't take that many bottles to get to that point. So I thought today's topic would be interesting if I just looked at my collection as of today and said, all right, I'm gonna choose 5 out of here that I think would work in every situation I would need for my daily life. What 5 would I choose as of today? We're gonna go over them right now. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. In my opinion, I think for a guy to have just a 5 fragrance collection, you just need to cover a few basics. First one being a sporty and kind of really warm weather fragrance. I think you need something that will cover that very easily. Secondly, an all around, just kind of wear it anywhere fragrance. You might as well just call it a blue fragrance, or at least a blue style fragrance. Third, I think you need a good office fragrance, or a fragrance that works well with whatever your job may be. Fourth, I think you should definitely have a good evening, night out, night on the town fragrance, whatever you want to call it. A fragrance that's good for date nights, something in that vein. And the final category that I would choose is something that you just absolutely love, and it can be anything. It can cover any kind of base that you want it to. Just a fragrance that you really like, whether it's super unique or not. So that would be the 5th fragrance. So I'm gonna talk about them in that order. So the first one is gonna be my sport fragrance of choice, and I am gonna go with Dior Homme Sport. This is particularly the 2021 release, based off of the newer Dior Homme 2020. Italian lemon, aldehydes, Calabrian bergamot, elemi resin, pink pepper, frankincense, amber, and woods. When I first smelled this one, I was blown away by it. I've only smelled the 2017 release of the original Dior Homme Sport. I can't remember if that one had iris in it. That might have been the first iteration that didn't, or at least turned it down quite a bit. So any iteration before that I haven't smelled, unfortunately. But I know when I smelled this one, I was absolutely blown away. Compared to Dior Homme 2020, I think this one actually captured my attention a lot faster than that one did. I do like Dior Homme 2020, but I think in terms of just a better fragrance release, this one is actually superior in some ways. I love the freshness of this one. I like the aldehydes. I like how clean it is. I love the citrus. I like the little bit of spice you get from the pink pepper and the incense. Really well done sport fragrance to me. I got the 75 ml. Also, I think this is a good pick for the topic being a sport warm weather fragrance, because you can get it in a 4.2 ounce bottle. This is the 1.7 ounce bottle, but you can get it in a 4.2. It's not ridiculously expensive. I do think you can find them on discounters now, so you could replace it if need be. That's kind of one of the things I'm thinking about, is like, if I'm putting a fragrance in a list where I'm only gonna have 5, well, it would need to be one that I could easily replace without having to spend too much money. So this is my sport fragrance of choice, Dior Homme Sport 2021. Okay, next one on the list, this is gonna be the everyday, any kind of time scent. Call it the blue scent, and I did choose a blue scent for it. This is gonna be from the house of Versace. This is Versace Pour Homme Dylan Blue. Versace Pour Homme Dylan Blue. Aquatic notes, Calabrian bergamot, fig leaf, grapefruit, ambroxan, black pepper, papyrus, patchouli, violet leaf, frankincense, musk, tonka bean, and saffron. So this one obviously is going to be a fresh kind of aquatic style scent. It's pretty versatile because it does have that incense in it, so it makes it a little bit more versatile for different temperatures and different situations. I'll admit I'm not a huge fan of this. I kind of had to get used to those aquatic notes in the opening, but once my bottle kind of got a little bit more air in it, I think that kind of settled a little bit better on my skin. But this one is definitely a wear it anytime, wear it for multiple occasions scent. Covers the sports, covers wearing it at the office, depending on what your office job is, and certainly takes care of like nights out or anything. So, you know, you can wear this one at any time and it will get the job done. Lasts a long time, comes in a variety of bottle sizes, and it's inexpensive at discounters. So for me, the everyday kind of wear it all the time scent is the one you're probably gonna wear the most. So naturally, you would probably want it to be one that you can easily replace because you're probably gonna go through a few bottles of this if you're wearing it every year. So I think naturally Dylan Blue is certainly a good choice for your everyday scent in a 5 fragrance collection. Okay, so this is gonna be the office or at work scent. For me, I work in primarily surgery centers, doctor's offices, and hospitals. So I have to be somewhat cognizant of what I wear. I can't go in wearing anything. That being said, I tend to get away with some stuff I didn't think I would, and that's mostly because I go light on the sprays. Anyway, my choice for this is gonna be Beau de Jour from Tom Ford. The modern day Fougere green scent. It features lavender, Cape snowbush, geranium, basil, oak moss, patchouli, and amber. Beau de Jour is one of my favorite office scents. I made it a point a little bit earlier on in my collecting process to make sure I get scents that will work really well for me when I am at work. And I also wanted to get a variety of scents that cover that. So this one definitely fit into the bill. Longevity is really good on this one. Projection is definitely what it would need to be for an office style scent. A mature of enough scent to work well in the office space. And also with the lasting power that it has, that means, you know, I'll get good wear and use out of it per day and I don't necessarily have to re-up. Being that it is a Tom Ford, even though it's not in the private blend collection, it's still not ridiculously cheap, you know, so if I had to constantly replace bottles of this, that could get a little expensive over time if I'm paying, you know, over $100 even at a discounted rate to replace my office scent. So, but this one, you won't need to spray so much of it that you'll just blast through the bottle. So that's why I think it is a good choice as an office scent, and also you get a nice quality scent with it to go with it as well. Also, you know, it could get you some compliments. This is a compliment pulling fragrance. It smells great through the mid and into the dry down. So my office scent of choice, this is Tom Ford Beau de Jour. All right, next category, the night out, the evening, the date night fragrance, the have some fun fragrance and smell great while you're doing it. I chose this one from the House of Thameen, London. This is Carved Oud. Thameen Carved Oud. Got quite a few notes on it, but some of the featured notes are Guatemala cardamom, pink pepper, South Indian oud, patchouli, cedarwood, iris, sandalwood, labdanum, vanilla, amber, and musk. This one kind of took the fragrance world by storm last year because Thameen has always been a house that's kind of been hard to get if you weren't in the UK, particularly in London. I'm not sure why, but last year all the discounters got their hands on it. My local niche perfumery got their hands on them, so I've been able to check quite a few of them out, and I'm glad we have access to it now. If you've heard anything about this one, it is very similar to Tom Ford's Oud Wood, which easily could have been a good choice here, but I do think this fragrance is superior to Oud Wood. I'm not going to get into a heavy comparison. That's not really the point of this video. The point is, as a night out and evening wear fragrance, this will work wonders. Has great longevity, is an extrait de parfum, so even though it's not the cheapest fragrance, it is cheaper than Oud Wood, which is a good thing, but even though it's not necessarily a cheap fragrance, you don't have to spray a million sprays to get a nice effect out of it. It's going to last through the night. It's going to create a nice scent cloud around you that's great for that environment, and it's also just a really high quality scent that just smells awesome. So this would be my nighttime evening wear fragrance of choice. This is going to be Thameen Carved Oud. Okay, and last but not least, the final category, which is the fragrance that you just want in your collection because you love it. Pick any fragrance, pick anything you want, put it in this slot. For me, I chose to go with Amouage's Interlude Man. This is the original Interlude Man, also known as the Blue Beast. Oregano, pimento, bergamot, frankincense, opopanax, amber, cistus, leather, oud, patchouli, and sandalwood. Smoky and spicy and woody and a little bit aromatic here is the name of the game with this one. Tends to be a bit of a turnoff for some folks because of that oregano note. Well, I get it. That's a little weird, you know, as a fragrance note. Certainly not one you hear about often. I don't know if anything else uses oregano in the top note as a fragrance, but I just happen to love it because I also happen to love how oregano smells by itself. I just think the quality and what they did with this fragrance and how it comes across, how unique it is compared to a lot of scents, is just, it makes it a must-have in my collection. I have to have it. I actually like wearing this in kind of weird situations. I've worn this when I went to Topgolf of all places. I've worn it on very hot days just because I love the scent profile. Obviously I didn't go crazy with the trigger, but still, I love the scent so much. I think it's so well done, so unique, so rich. I love the smokiness. I like deep, smoky, leathery scents. So this one really fits up that alley. So if I'm gonna have just one fragrance that I really, really love, I chose to go with this one because I definitely love this one, and it's just unique and also very different from the other stuff that kind of takes care of what I need to take care of. So this one here could just be something that's just fun for me. Once again, this is Amouage Interlude Man. That's gonna be my fragrance that I just want to have in my collection regardless. All right, so that's gonna do it for today's video. That is 5 fragrances that if I had to have a 5 fragrance collection, a more practical fragrance collection, those are the 5 I chose to go with today. I think I'm gonna make kind of a monthly series out of this because I think this is one of those things where, you know, if you don't want to just wear 5 fragrances, you like to wear a different fragrance every day, you like to continue building on your fragrance collection and wear all of them as much as you can, I would say that on any given day, this list could change for anybody. So that's kind of my mindset with this one. So I think I'm gonna make kind of a series out of this. We'll see. But I definitely want to do this again because it was kind of fun to just look at all my fragrances and say, all right, if I only had to choose 5, which 5 would I choose? Leave a comment below. Do you think this is a good list of 5 based on the categories I chose? Would you change something? If you had to do the same thing, you know, just make your fragrance a practical fragrance collection of only 5 scents, what are the 5 you would go with based on your collection? Let me know below. I hope to see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well, and I hope you have a great day.